So the first question is, which of your Basement Sketches submissions reflects a change in your process? So for me, that would be Taxman off of our Beatles Revolver cover project. And that song, it started with an interest in the bass line. Now, one rumor had it that George Harrison actually played this bass line on like some Fender 7 kind of multi-string thingamadiddler, but I can't remember, I think they talked about in that Beatles movie that came out, that big hoo-ha. Anyhow, I can't remember how it turned out. I think maybe it ended up being Paul after all, but there was a rumor for a long time. It's a weird bass line, kind of hard to play for me because I'm not very good at it, but I started trying to learn that, and then from there, I really started to experiment a lot more with programming different beats and trying to break them up, like similar-ish, though not exactly like how the Beatles had it, but like I didn't really go into that level of effort to try to break out different drum parts and stuff. So that was a big change for me. And I also did a lot of different things recording the vocals I had done in previous sketches. So I tried to do these, like one really vocoded vocal with a natural vocal. And, it's pretty crude in hindsight, but for me it was a big breakthrough because I hadn't really tried to push the vocal changes in terms of different mixed effects to that degree previously. The song is really, Matt Rahim does this, one of the synth parts in it, and it's amazing, and that really makes the song. So turning point was just always pull in Matt or a friend if you can. That wasn't a turning point, I always try to do that, but anyhow, yeah. Question number 2 is, which of your Basement Sketches submissions do you like the sound of? And I think overall sound that I think I'm the happiest with is my last submission, which was Edit the Sad Parts, which is a cover of a Modest Mouse song. I don't necessarily think it's my favorite song overall. That's a different one, and that'll be my third thing I talk about. But I do think it sounds the best probably overall, just because I've gotten better and better at what I can do so far with the stuff available to me. And, I've sort of honed in on this minimal Neil homemade one-man band for certain songs where I have kind of a ukulele, it's pretty sparse, bass line, some computer drums, and some synth, like, I don't know, 70s organ kind of thing with maybe a few weird sounds of synthy things mixed in randomly, but pretty sparse. And I think this last submission of mine, this Edit the Sad Parts, is the one I'm happiest with in terms of trying to get those things together. There's still stuff I don't totally like about it though. But it's closer. All right, so the third question is, which of your own Basement Sketches submissions is your favorite overall? And my favorite overall is the Gonzo cover. I'm going to go back there someday from the Muppet movie. That was the second Basement Sketches project I submitted that for. And the reason it's my favorite overall is that I think it has the best kind of mix of me trying to recreate something and maintain some of the original, what I thought was the original sort of vibe or intent of the song, but yet make it my own. And that's easy to do when the original performer is a Muppet, so pretty much anything you do, even if you're a guy like me that's slightly Muppet-ish, you have a lot more liberties, and it's easy to humanize something that's not originally sung by a human, I guess. But beyond that, I think I like how I was able to kind of, again, sort of have a kind of a sparse palette of instruments, baritone uke, kids bell thing, my little student accordion, and I did it pretty quick. Like I did it kind of chunk. I remember I was sitting actually in this living room because I had some mold remediation work going on in the other room that would later become where I do a lot of my recording and mixing. And I just kind of cranked through it. I didn't, do multiple takes of, well, it's pretty obvious. It's not the cleanest performance of anything. Let's put it that way. But I do like how it comes together. So that's my favorite overall.